Hi Anna. You wanted to talk to me.
Yes. I have some questions about what you were doing in your classroom this year.
Awesome. What's your question?
Well, I have some concerns about what you were doing. Does the principal know you got rid of your desks and chairs?
Yes, she knows I had most of them moved out of my room. She was very responsive and open to the changes.
Why would you do that? Where will the kids sit and work?
Actually, something had to change. If we want to compete with the changing world around us, we must also change. We have a flexible seating classroom. The students can sit wherever they would like. They decide where they work best throughout the day.
They are kids. They don't know where they work best. They will just sit with their friends and not get any work done. Won't they be distracted and not pay attention?
Actually, we have so many different workspace choices they learn very quickly what works and what doesn't. Some kids can sit next to their friends and stay focused. The kids know that they get to choose their spot, but if they are not working I can have them reset to a different spot.
That seems like a lot of work. Wouldn't it be easier to just make a seating chart and have them all sitting in the same seats and desks?
No two students are alike. They all have different needs. I think it is actually harder to keep all the students sitting the same way in the same seats all day. Before, I felt like I was constantly nitpicking and nagging about sitting. Now, we learn the procedures and expectations for all the options and review regularly. They actually do a great job when you allow them some flexibility. When kids can sit in a more natural way that meets their needs, they can focus on their work for longer periods of time.
But where will they keep all their things? They won't learn how to be responsible for their books and supplies or organized if they don't have a desk.
Each student has a cubby, a book basket, and a mailbox to help keep their tools handy and papers organized. We also have shared supplies that are central to every workspace for easy access. Honestly, desks are a nightmare. I rarely saw one that was organized. It's amazing how messy a desk can get. Our cubbies are open. We can see everything very clearly.
I saw some really cool seats and fun chairs. Won't they fight over them? Won't they fall off and get hurt?
Ironically, they don't all find the cool seats to be the best choice for them. They also know if they fight over spots they lose them. I actually have less kids getting hurt now than when I had regular chairs. They rocked backwards with chairs and fell off of those all the time, hitting their heads on the floor.
What about head lice, bed bugs, and a fire marshal?
You will have head lice and bed bugs in every type of classroom. There are also ways to be proactive with both lice and bed bugs with awareness, spray and good cleaning. The fire marshal was very clear about approved items, and there is fire retardant spray that can be used as well.
It just seems like all of it is just not needed. Don't kids need to learn how to sit? How will they get anything done?
Actually, it was needed. Kids sit too much. They are constantly in motion, fidgeting. Their bodies are all growing at different rates. Plus, we are collaborating and working with partners more than ever. Kids need to learn how to regulate their behavior and have opportunities to practice getting along with others when working.
But they will never learn how to write neatly. Kids need to sit at desks and have their feet on the floor sitting in chairs to write correctly.
Funny you should say that. Did you know when OT comes to work with kids who struggle with their fine motor skills, they have them lay on their bellies or write on the whiteboard while standing? They said they have more control the way. Otherwise, their large motor skills do all the work.
What about next year? They won't know how to work for next year's teacher. What will the administrators and parents say when they see the kids all over the place? And the subs? The subs must hate coming into your room.
I have less complaints from subs than ever. I always leave them great lesson plans that include a rundown of how the classroom works. The students know what to do to keep their room running smoothly. Parents and administrators have actually been very supportive. Many of them have also donated items for the classroom. As for next year, honestly, that isn't my concern. My job is to make sure they are prepared academically, emotionally, and socially. Every teacher will always have different expectations. Kids know how to sit. Just how long should they be expected to sit?
It kind of sounds like you gave all the control to the kids. Isn't it your classroom? You make it sound like the classroom revolves around the students.
That is a good way to look at it. It is a student-centered classroom. I once heard that great leaders know people do not engage in an environment where they do not feel safe, appreciated, or recognized. When people become unmotivated or disengaged, poor leaders try to fix the people. Great leaders fix the environment. This applies to kids too.
It sounds like it works, but I wouldn't have room in my classroom. My room is already so small with 28 kids in it. How do you have room to have all that extra stuff?
When you take out the things that are not working, you would be surprised how much space you gain. I felt like I was always tripping over chairs and feet and desk legs. We have a much better traffic flow, and if something isn't being used, I get rid of it.
There's no way I can put out that much money for all that stuff. I would go broke.
I have actually spent very little money. When I started, I merely lowered a table to the floor, raised a table and a few desks as high as they could go, and just created a lot of open space for kids to sit and lay on the floor. Parents were more than willing to send in donated items like bath mats, clipboards, and throw pillows. I even had a few parents who had extra video chairs and other seating options just sitting in storage. I also wrote a grant for some alternative seating. It's really not about what I have, but why I have it.
I just don't think I can do it. It is just so unstructured, and I'm not sure how you can do direct instruction without having all the kids sitting nicely in front of you.
Unstructured means without a plan. We definitely have a clear plan in our room. I have learned that direct instruction needs to be a small part of my lessons. I can gather kids close very quickly for direct instruction and then allow them the much needed time to practice with partners and independently. Again, it is about engaging them to learn best. Studies show that students learn best by teaching others and practicing their learning. You do realize that you can start with just allowing them to sit somewhere else during different parts of the day. Flexible seating begins when you release the need to be working in the same spot all day. Do your kids ever sit on the floor to do a project? What about reading with a partner?
Well, yes, we do those things. Do you mean I don't have to get rid of all my desks and tables to start moving towards a flexible seating classroom?
Of course not. No two rooms will ever look the same. The most important thing to realize is that we as educators need to make sure that our schools and our classrooms are as engaging, responsive, and dynamic as the world around us. We are preparing students to be successful in jobs that don't even exist yet. We need to teach them how to become good problem solvers, to work well with others, to be creative and innovative, and to take initiative. That happens when you give them ownership in their learning.
Thank you for answering all my concerns. It just seems so scary to stop doing what has always been expected.
Anytime. Just remember, we are here for the students. We are their school family. They need to feel that the space is theirs. When we focus on students, the students focus. Good luck. Let me know how it goes.